This thing here,
kick them out and not using caterpillar.
I don't like the idea of a caterpillar.
No,
besides,
it doesn't fit in with the.
What's it doing up a belfry?
Yeah, what's it doing in a belfry?
Yeah, we got spiders and we've got rats.
Dreaming up computer fantasies is nothing if not a serious occupation.
Could have bats in the screen as well.
But selling computer games is a seasonal business, and this summer is particularly difficult for Imagine sales manager Sylvia Jones.
It's never been as slow as it is now. Never. It wasn't like this time last year. It slowed down dramatically in the last 3 months. Not just for Imagine, for everybody. Probably because there are a lot more software houses now producing goods than there were this time last year.
Sylvia has come to see Imagine's Birmingham distributor. He wants to discuss the slow-selling old games, but Sylvia would rather interest him in the Bandersnatch mega game.
Morning, Sylvia.
Morning.
Good to see you again.
But she has a problem in introducing the idea to managing director Chris Hedges. He's looking at new games every week, but since the mega game isn't finished, she has nothing to show him, and she hasn't even seen it herself.
When are we going to see it, Sylvia, Bandersnatcher?
Probably about 4 weeks.
And how are we seeing it? You're going to send us samples?
We're going to give you a preview. We probably will send you a sample as well. But we'll give you a preview. It's yet to be decided.
So it's 4 weeks away, preview.
The preview.
When's launch?
Yes. Well, I'd say the end of July.
Really?
Yes. If we can do it sooner, we will do.
So you're looking at 6 weeks to launch?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you got any details of the A, the product, and B, the launch program?
No, no details of the launch program. They will follow, though. They're not decided yet. I can tell you that there's 25, possibly 30 items in the box.
That sounds complicated.
It isn't really.
No?
It's going on 48K, but there will be a piece of hardware to come with it, which increases the power of the computer.
But Hedges is becoming increasingly concerned that all these extra features will push the cost way beyond the average game price of £6.
I can see what you're doing. I mean, have you got any price points for it yet, approximately?
It's going to retail at about £40, $39.95.
Every time I speak to you, it goes up.
Yes, I know. You'll get used to it, right? £40.
But that's got to be something extraordinary, Sylvia,
oh, it certainly is.
That price.
It is totally different from anything you've ever seen before.
I mean, it really isn't just software, it's software stroke hardware.
There's also music tape which goes with the game, and we're thinking now of having an LP made of the music. That's a separate idea altogether, to go out after the game. We're going to have a voiceover, probably a famous name voiceover, on the music for the tape, the computer game itself.
Well, I mean, obviously we've just got to wait and see, haven't we? It's now, you've now taken the product, in my mind, beyond sort of understanding until I've seen it.
Back in Liverpool, the Imagine directors have a problem. The release of the game has been delayed, so instead they must produce new press handouts with more hard information.
I've been speaking to the media, and we've hyped them up so much that unless we actually deliver some goods to them soon, it's going to come off the boil.
Yeah.
And this is a way of delivering some meat to them, what we want in our time, so we keep them on the boil until the release. Because otherwise, they're just going to forget about us soon, because they're just going to get fed up. Because they've had enough hype without substance, now they've got to have some substance.
What's more, financial director Ian Hetherington has not raised his £2 million, and sales are so bad that the company is having difficulty paying its suppliers. Their cassette duplicator is waiting for £50,000 that Imagine owes him.
We get it back from the printer Monday, and the release goes out to the press a week Tuesday. Okay, so that's the current timing. In fact, I don't know why I've gone to so many visuals, because there's so little you can actually do with this.
Well, because I've been waiting for this meeting for so long, I've had to get the studio going on some things. Use Roger Dean's artwork.
They need money urgently. Even the Bandersnatch box will require expensive colour printing.
To Lucy, or if it's printed on the inside, you know, it's not going to get lost.
Inside bits. Inside bits.
Yeah, please send it in.
It's not the call he's been waiting for. and the financial crisis is worsening by the hour.
I'll take them, Mike.
Okay. Right, so that's that one then.
No, so just make one. We don't do anything, right? I mean, we don't place any orders without my say-so.
Oh, no, that's dead easy.
Anywhere. Well, I can't stress this too greatly. We must not commit to any expense at all, okay?
But the problem of money that the company has already spent remains, as does this anxious supplier. But what has led to this crisis in their fortunes? Everyone in the industry claims that a substantial loss of income is caused by the selling of pirate cassettes. But how large a threat is professional counterfeiting, or even schoolboy copying? And how do you recognize the genuine from the fake, or know when it's being sold?
Oh, I get your Christmas cards, 15 pence a packet. Let's go with it. You've got some Christmas cards here. 12, 50 pence a packet.
Street markets are thought to be a good place to look. We took David Ward of Ocean to a market outside Manchester. The industry believes that stalls like this are a common source of pirate tapes. And indeed we did find illegal music cassettes being sold for £2 each, like this copy of Frankie Goes to Hollywood's latest release, with its crude black and white photocopy of the label. But from the evidence of a police raid earlier in the year, David Ward is convinced that there is also much more professional counterfeiting of computer games, something which may cost Ocean £100,000 in sales over the year.
We have here a couple of tapes. This is one of our top-selling games of last year, Hunchback. And we can see here that we've got, this is a commercially pirated copy as opposed to something that somebody's made at home. These people have gone to the business of reprinting coloured inlay cards, which is quite expensive to set up. So they would obviously have had to have done several thousand to make it worth their while. The difference, I suppose, to the average chap in the street wouldn't be that obvious. On the left here is the real thing, and on the right is a very professional piece of computer piracy. Now, with this kind of situation, we obviously suffer a commercial loss because the total number of programs sold are dramatically affected by the fact that we're not making all the programs that are sold. It isn't quite the same situation as what's called home copying, where a chap borrows his neighbour's cassette and reproduces it for himself. I think our real problem in the industry is people making copies for gain on a large scale rather than the odd schoolboy at home copying. Although I don't condone that, I don't think it's as big or as significant. And I think in a way it's an endemic part of computer hacking that kids will try and get into a tape, and it's part of the whole industry of computing and that sort of thing.
But it's doubtful whether Imagine's problems are anything to do with piracy, schoolboy or professional, and the outlook now looks bleak. The only director left on the premises for the past week seems resigned to a gloomy future.
As you can see, it's fairly empty. I think a lot of people are going to the pub quite early these days. But they've had the video cassette recorder playing this morning. They've all been watching an American Werewolf in London. And you see they've been making flags and decorating the place generally instead of doing work. Because why bother? They all know that, you know, there's no point. No one will supply us with anything. So we've got no cassettes to sell. So the company's come to a full stop. This company cannot continue trading for another week unless there's a cash injection of, I would say, it needs next week about £500,000.
But events take place faster than Everest predicts. Within hours, he's resigned. And when some of the staff come back from lunch, there's an unexpected welcome.
We'll leave the room, please. Why? Why?
Can you tell me?
You will get off that, please, Michael. You will not. You will let go, please, Michael.
Can you tell us what's happening?
You will get your foot off the door, please. Thank you.
Agents of the bailiff have moved in, and no one seems to know who's running the company.
Why can't we come in? Why not?